Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's a video after taking a few days to enjoy that Hibs win, enjoy the resulting Hibs tears over the last few days. We are finally back in action because there's another game upon the horizon, and no, it's not that game, nah, it's a game versus the only team to beat us all season long. And you know son, that last little fact that we unfortunately had to just say is seemingly getting lost on a lot of people who are only tweeting and talking about the Old Firm game on January the 2nd. And right, the Old Firm is coming, ladies and gentlemen, right? The plums are well and truly plumping, but still, to me, this game, the Mora versus St Mirren, is just as big and just as important. And it's with that mindset that we're actually diving right in today's video and getting into the old oppositional preview and having an important update on a St Mirren side who is now sitting 7th in the SPFL. That's right people, they now sit 7th in the SPFL, and it's weird because if you go back and you think back to the last preview versus St Mirren, I was talking them up, and rightly so, they are a good football team, but there was a couple of people saying, aye, but they're doing near the bottom of the league for a reason, they're crap, they're this and they're that. But as I said in that video, and as it's been kind of overflipped, one of the main contributing factors to why they were near the bottom of the league was sheer incompetency and sheer inconsistency by the SPFL board, who ruled to give them 2 3-0 forfeits because a couple of their players was car sharing on their way to training. Again, I'm not kidding. Anyway, that ridiculous punishment from the SPFL has been temporarily overturned while the SPFL go ahead to make a final decision, blah blah blah, etc, boring off the field stuff. But it was important to mention because now St Mirren have those 2 games back, and with them sitting 7th, if they can continue and play those 2 games like the way they've been playing over the last 5, 6, 7 weeks, there's a real possibility that they could be sitting 5th when they've played the same amount of games as everyone around them, which is a sharp contrast to where they were at the last time coming into a game versus Rangers. But in that game of football, what we've seen with our own eyes and how well this team can play football, round about 5th is probably where they deserve to be. Now, to any channel legend that's currently watching that watches every single preview video, don't worry, I'm not going to sit here and read the exact same notes I had the last time, just a couple of weeks ago, versus St Mirren. Instead, we're actually going to cut it off from our game and give you an important wee update to see how they've been getting on since they beat us 3-2 in the Cup. And in truth, unfortunately, it has to be said, St Mirren are doing pretty damn well. Since beating us 3-2 in the Cup, they actually followed that game up with another 3-2 win, this time versus St Johnstone, where once again the resolve was on show because they came back into the game not once but twice, equalising in the 84th minute before going ahead and getting that stinger again by grabbing the winner in the 87th minute. Which once again really backs up what I tried to say in the previous preview, that if you do not kill this team off, if you give them just an inkling of hope, they can come back and hurt you. They've dangers from set pieces, they've got players that can set up, and yes, St Johnstone did receive a red card. We kind of spoke about that for the St Johnstone preview, but still, you've got to be a good enough team to take advantage of 10 men, because you know St Johnstone was winning that game with 10 men. They had everyone back, but St Mirren kept plugging away before coming back, and that's a sign of a good team. But it isn't all smooth sailing and good vibes for St Mirren, because thankfully their undefeated streak was finally broken in their next matchup as they went to Easter Road and narrowly lost out to Hibs 1-0, where yes, there was some late drama, but instead of goals in this game, it was actually red cards, as Mason got sent off in 83rd minute for St Mirren and Christian Deutsch was sent off in the 85th minute for 2 bookings in a couple of minutes, and Michael O'Halloran, if you will. Now, all joking and that aside, that loss at Easter Road was actually their first loss in 11 matches, and going into their next game, which was their most recent game before we played them, was a trip to Dingwall, which is never an easy place to go, and it did raise a couple of questions about this St Mirren side. What would they know that their streak was over? Well, they rolled their sleeves up, got dirty and done their jobs as they comfortably won 2-0 with yet another late goal display, as they scored 2 goals after the 75th minute, including 1 after the 80th. Again, it is their bread and butter all season long. You just need to put this team to bed. If they're in it, going into the last 50 minutes, they just seem to gear up. But it is important to mention, like a couple of their other previous games, this wasn't 11 versus 11. There was more red cards in this game, ladies and gentlemen, as Ross County actually finished the game with 9 frickin' men. And I guess you can hear all that and you can think of everything we've said about St Mirren. You can look at it from 2 sets of point of view. One, they've been very, very lucky to continue to play teams who continue to get red cards. Or you can look at it from this perspective, and this is where I sort of lean. This is a team that's frustrating the life out of players, taking players out their game, making them lose their minds that they're giving away silly free kicks, silly bookings, and giving away silly fouls even when they've been booked, because they're frustrating the life out of teams, and that's what I'm seeing from the St Mirren side as Rocky is scratching his arse. But I guess it's just how you look at it. Are they being lucky that they're continuing playing teams that's losing their discipline, or are they just being smart and shithousery to frustrate teams into making mistakes? And with that being said, that's a sort of done and dusty with the old oppositional preview. Again, we're not going to break down how they set up and how they play, because we saw it a couple of weeks ago. We know what their strength is: disciplined at the back, counter-attacks out wide, and very, very dangerous at set pieces. They showed that a couple of weeks ago. Fingers crossed they didn't do it the Mora versus Rangers. And I think if you go back and you look at that game that they bet us in the Cup, it's coming in from 2 different aspects. You've got St Mirren belief and taking confidence for that game of football that can go ahead and repeat and do the impossible again. That's what they're talking up. And on the other hand, you've got Rangers players pissed off and angry, want to set it right. It's going to be an absolute battle. But with the oppositional preview now done and dusted, the smile gets a wee bit wider as we now get to talk about what matters most, and that is of course Rangers. And it brings me so much happiness and honestly so much relief in the old ticker that it is only the fans that is talking about the Old Firm game. Everyone associated with the club is having the same mindset and the same discipline they've had all season, and that is the next game up mentality. No looking to rotate players for this game or this game. Nah. Everything we've heard ahead of this game, Rangers will be picking the best available team for this game versus St Mirren. And I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to do that if we want to go there and get all 3 points. Because let's just be brutally honest, that is the only thing that matters to all of us going into this game, is just getting the job done and coming away with all 3 points. Now, as we mentioned the team a couple of minutes ago, let's give you some important team updates then, shall we? And unfortunately, it isn't good news, where we've got Scotty Arfield, who is going for a scan and waiting for the results of the scan to tell us how serious of an injury picked up in his most recent game. Now again, nothing's been confirmed about the timeline or how long he's going to be out. Fingers crossed, butt cheeks crossed, anything crossed that it's fine, it comes back and he's dandy for either this game or the next game. But it looks like he's definitely ruled out for at least this game tomorrow. And another player that's unfortunately ruled out for the game tomorrow is our man, Mr. Ryan Jack, where once again the word patience is being used by Mr. McAllister during this week's press conference, as it's taken just a little bit time to get him to where he needs to be. Again, no confirmation how long or when we can hope to get him back. It was just, let's be patient and let's wait for Jacko. So fingers crossed that he's back at least for the 2nd of January. Now, if you've ever seen this channel before or you know anything about me, you know the fact that Scotty Arfield and Ryan Jack's out hurts me right in here. I absolutely love the both of them, but I see a lot of people freaking out and saying, oh, midfield's crap for this and midfield's crap for that. But for me, it's no panic stations yet, because going into this game of football, I think if you look at it, we can still have Davis, Aribo and Kamara, which I'd argue, even if everyone was fit, would be up there in our best combinations, especially for breaking teams down. And if we're going to use Aribo like we did in our last game versus Hibs to push it wide, that allows Hadji to cut inside, that could be vital versus the packed defence of St Mirren. And even if you look beyond that, we still have Zungu, who is dying and itching to make an impact. So for me, I'm not going to panic yet. We've talked a hell of a lot about the strength and depth of our squad this season. Well, tomorrow is the perfect chance to go ahead and show it. But taking a step back away from the painful midfield duo that is missing, everyone else thankfully has came through another grueling schedule, another grueling game of football unscathed, and they are available for selection. The only other player besides the 2 we've already spoke about is your man Katic. So once again, Gerrard has most of the pieces to the puzzle that he's had all season. It's just on who it goes to select, and it's going to be absolutely massive if he sticks with Hadji, or does he bring Alfredo Morelos back in and move Roof out to the right hand side. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's us all officially done and dusted. That is the oppositional preview. That is the Rangers conversation, and that is the latest Rangers team news. Now it's time for me and Nate to take that and try to go ahead and predict a Rangers game of football, which during this time of the year is nearly impossible. So best of luck, nation. Hopefully you get it absolutely spot on down in the comment section below. But I'll be honest, I'm feeling pretty damn good about this prediction because I'm looking at this game of football, and yes, it would be lovely to slap them 5-6-0 for a bit of revenge, but I don't think it's ever going to be that type of game of football. I think it is going to be another battle from the first whistle to the last, but I do think we will take the lead in this game, but we'll do what we didn't the last time, and we'll get the second goal, and the second goal should kill this game off, and I think that is when we'll see it out. So I'm actually going to go with Rangers 2, St Mirren 0. My goal scorers are going to be your man, Connor Goldson, and Ryan frickin' Kent. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, now that me and thee have, dare say, all that's left is for us to wrap up today's video. But before I go ahead and do that, as always, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out your day to sit here and talk about Rangers things with me. If you got involved down in the comments section below, I'll be seeing you very, very shortly. But all the best, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next video, and bye-bye.